Hello and welcome back to Heart and Soul's Yoga Life channel. Today I have a really exciting topic for you, curating your life, or how to bring more joy, more energy and more beauty in your life by choosing quality over quantity. And this goes both for items that you have in your house as well as people, projects, subscriptions, all this kind of stuff. Like how to really look around in your life as if it was a piece of art, and you, like a good museum curator, get to decide which things you bring out and bring to display and which things you get rid of, so that bit by bit over time you are living a life that is full of things that really spark joy for you. And I guess you might have heard at some point already this beautiful term of sparking joy if you have ever come across the author and coach Marie Kondo, who with her book The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up made huge waves a couple of years ago, from starting in Japan and then all the way to the US, and from there globally. She sold tens of millions of books, and she has her own Netflix series. So if you find this conversation that we are having here today inspiring, have a look at Netflix and have a look at Marie Kondo's show, where she helps people decluttering their houses, tidying up, and really sparking joy in their lives. So the whole idea is to not look at the items in your house, and I'm always expanding this to your life as a whole, including your job, your relationships, your health, etc., to not look at whatever is there that's full of clutter and that's not quite ideal as a massive problem, but start coming from a place of what are the things, the items, the activities, the people that really spark joy, that really make me happy. So that can go from your normal kitchen and bathroom items to your clothes, to your knickknacks and holiday memories, to duties and commitments you have, to people you hang out with. Like, where are the people, the items, the things, the situations that really fill you up and add quality to your life? Bring them to the forefront and then let go of as much as you can of the other stuff. So Kondo in her show and in her book suggests that, for example, if it's about clothes, right, that you bring all the clothes that you own, probably one person at a time, into a room, put them on a pile, and then take up each item and look at it and ask yourself the question, does this still spark joy? Does this still make me happy? And if it does, even if it's an old 20-year-old sweater that's a memento from happy teenage times, then it absolutely has a place with you and you keep it. But if it's just another item that if you were going shopping today, you wouldn't actually buy anymore, that you've grown out of, or that makes you feel like you're fat because you don't look the way in it that you used to, if it's an item that you wouldn't really choose anymore if you have to choose all over, then it goes on a different pile and can either be thrown away, or it can be donated, or it can be sold. So bit by bit, you start with one class of item, with one type of item, whether that's clothes, whether that's beauty items, whether that's all the stuff that you have in the kitchen that you use to cook and clean, etc. So you go through one by one, and so bit by bit, category by category, you are cleaning out and tidying out your life. I actually share that experience as being really valuable because I have moved 16, 17 times in my life over 41 years at this stage. And every time when you move, you have to pack your things. And I've never, only actually once, I've hired someone to do that for me, like a service. When we moved overseas, they just packed everything up. But every other move other than that, I had to keep and pick up every last one of my items, look at it, do I still want this, do I really have to take it, because I'll have to carry it around and unpack it again, and put it in a box or throw it out. So if you do that regularly, I guess for me that would average every 3-4 years, that allows you to let go of a lot of the stuff and the clutter that you have in your life. My process for this, if I am moving, is actually first I will go through the whole house during the weeks leading up to the move and set myself a goal. I remember using like a trash bin, like a little trash bin, fill up that bin every evening before I sit down and chill and rest and watch a series or read a book. Fill up that bin with things that can go in the rubbish. The first few days, that's pretty easy. You just go through the house, you see all the stuff you're not using anymore and you're throwing out. But as the days and the weeks progress, it actually becomes more and more challenging to go hunting in your own apartment, in your own house for things that you could let go of and throw out. But it's quite a healthy, good practice that you can even do if you're not moving, really, every now and then. So that was the first point of call. Then the second point of call is when I have found all the things I really don't want anymore, then I go through again and see what are the things that I can sell, that I can give away, that I can donate, that I can share with someone that don't really serve me anymore, but that are too good to throw out. So that's a different pile. Then I let go of this stuff. And then I pack up the remainder. And as I unpack when I have arrived, I actually often find that because I am then in a new pristine space, in a space that feels really good, that I have just chosen, as I am unpacking and putting these things away, I will discover that some of the items, if I haven't seen them for a few days or a few weeks, if I look at them, I'm actually not really that keen to keep them. So I will do the same thing again. I will decide, do I sell them, or do I donate them, or do I throw them out and let go of even more stuff? And then usually I have 2 or 3 clutter boxes where the stuff that I kind of am hanging on to, but that doesn't really have a place in my house right now, goes in. Get to keep it, like old diaries and things like that. I keep them because they have sentimental value, but they are stored away out of sight, and I know I don't have to deal with them all the time. So that's my process. As I said before, expand that process. If you are now having your mind spinning about this idea, expand this process to look in all the different areas of your lives, beyond just the things and the items. It's about relationships with people. We do accumulate a lot of contacts, a lot of people that we're probably kind of like but don't really care about, and every now and then there is a conversation, but it's kind of dragging on, or people kind of are seeking us out all the time. And it's not about being a jerk and cutting them off, but it's about really seeing, does this serve me, or is it better to be honest, or better to delete that contact, etc., to just free up the space and the time I'm spending on that person to spend more time with people I actually truly care about, that are important to me. Same thing with all these half-done projects. I know that my family has certain issues around this sometimes, where certain people in my family love starting projects, renovating things or building things, putting things together with a lot of enthusiasm for a day or two, and then they are being left half done, 2/3 done. And then it's a year later, 2 years later, and it's still kind of a provisory state. I don't know if you say that in English, but it's a provisional state, I think, that's not quite ready, not quite usable, but it's kind of lying around there and not being touched. That's another one that can go. It's not quality, and it's a constant reminder of stuff not being done. Either do it yourself, set a timeline and commit to it, or find someone you can pay who can do it for you, or get rid of it. But don't leave these things lingering and hanging around. And the same thing with your work and your business priorities. Look through what is really necessary. If, like myself, you are running your own business, it can be really healthy and healing every now and then to look at everything that you're doing, all the social media channels you have, all the projects you have started, the collaborations that you have agreed to, and really see which of these things are essential, which are joyful, which are useful, and which are the kind of nice to have but not really necessary things that you could let go of. Even sometimes, to be honest, clients, if you have a client who's still on a rate that you used to charge 10 years ago and you're now generally charging more, it's probably time to catch up with the reality of where you're at right now and be true to yourself and have the conversation with the person. Are they still willing to stay around but to step up into the new agreement, or is it maybe time for them to move on and you can refer them on into good hands to someone else? So expand that process and look at, what do you want to go, what do you want to stay, and what are the things that are really sparking joy, that are really making you happy and excited and are adding to your quality of life. With shopping, just a quick recommendation, one trick that I use on myself is I ask myself, with everything that I'm potentially wanting, potentially going to buy, do I really need this? At the moment, I've always done this and it's always served me well. At the moment, it's particularly interesting because I might at some point fulfill a lifelong dream of mine to move into a tiny house for a while. And then I will have to really curate and see, what can I take? or what do I pay to have in storage, or if I don't want to, what do I throw out? And that will be a lot. So when I go shopping right now, I'll often ask myself, like yesterday, I saw a beautiful cup of tea, and I asked myself, it's like, do I really need this? And if I were to move into a tiny house in a year or two, would I take that? Or would it be one of the things that I'll be giving away or throwing out? And so, like with a bit of a heavy heart, I left it in the shop because I knew I don't actually really need it. It's pretty and nice to have, but not necessary. So I can recommend this as well. Now imagine you had surrounded yourself by quality entirely, and you had done this process all across your house, all across your life, all across your business, with the people that you are with, etc. Imagine what that would look like for you. What does a curated life look for you? Because that's different for everyone. Not everyone has the same priorities. For some people, that would be like a high-class sofa, high-class cooking items, high-class car or whatever. For some people, it would be simplicity or less is more. So maybe take some time and journal about it. What would high-quality, high-class, high-joy life look like for you? What is still there? What do you still see? And what are the things that you have joyously and lovingly let go from your life that you don't need anymore? What do these things mean to you? Which items are meaningful? What are they, and what do they give to you? And what are the items that don't actually carry as much meaning that you can let go? Anyway, enjoy this process. I trust this will spark joy in your life as much as it does in mine every now and then when I have a spout and go for it and curate my own life. And if you like the content of this channel, make sure that you subscribe and that you hit the bell button to get notifications when we put out new content. And if you have questions or ideas, or you want to share whatever is your experience from having curated your life or your items, please leave a comment in the comment section and we can share and we can learn from you as well. Thank you very much and see you soon.